What's going on, everybody? It's FREEDO here for your Overwatch. A lot of these maps we're going to cover today, players don't even see 2/3 of it. Have you ever seen Last of Numbani? Has it gone missing? Did they edit it out? Full holds happen on these maps all of the time. If you don't know the win condition on how to approach them, you can very easily be left scratching your head. Why didn't we win that? What's going wrong? But don't worry, we got your back. And it's important really to think of these as concepts, more so than specifically maps, because you can apply a lot of these different rules to different maps as well. But we're going to focus on explaining exactly why high ground is so important for attacking, defending, specifically on the maps Numbani and Gibraltar, and as well cover some problems that people have playing a lot of 2CP maps. First and foremost, why is high ground good? Well, it gives characters that normally don't have a lot of mobility angles of attack, the ability to take their pick of the litter to put their value out. The prototypical key character when we think about high ground, we think about Soldier. If we look at this team fight in front of us, the enemy team is getting some headway, but they're getting kills on the wrong things. And their tanks are really bad for this map overall. They take Zarya Rein up the gut, win the tank battle convincingly. Zarya Rein's quite good against Orisa, but because they're not able to kill either the Soldier or the Genji, our damage just starts to come in over time, and it almost doesn't matter how much of a man advantage they do or don't have at that point. Because they have nothing to deal with us, we're eventually going to win, our respawns are eventually going to come back, and all they get is a tick out of that push, and you don't want to play for a tick. Ever. Never play for the objective. I can't stress this enough. Overwatch is not an objective game. Don't worry about the payload or the objective. All of that is just wrong, wrong, wrong. Instead, you want to focus on the team fight. Because you win team fights, you win the objective for free. And the way you win team fights is figuring out what the win condition is, which is often trying to find out what is going to carry the game for the enemy team. Well, leaving a Soldier uncontested on the high ground is always a way to lose a team fight. That's something you just cannot allow to happen. Whereas if I'm playing Soldier on the low ground here, I'm probably getting clogged up with this enemy Reinhardt. I probably can't find the squishies, but since I'm able to reposition however I want, I'm always allowed to put my damage wherever I want, making for these attempts of the enemy to just rush to point going to fail miserably time and time again. A lot of times in matchmaking, this rule doesn't get abused because what happens is the attacking team rushes to point and the defending team makes a worse mistake and jumps down to defend it with their squishy characters, and then the attacking team brawls out. They might win anyway, and no one really learned the lesson of the map, right? And you might end up winning with bad play anyway. But if you know these tricks, you won't end up losing to these really bad tactics, and you'll start racking up wins on Numbani for free. Sometimes this is a bit easier to see from a support's perspective, so here I'm playing Mercy. Notice how Liam keeps his McCree on the high ground no matter what. It's not the job of the squishy characters to go contest the point. That's a tank's job, if and when you ever even want to do that. Or maybe a Tracer or stall out characters like that, what have you. But because we're able to keep our squishies away from the enemy damage and the enemy fights on point, we are bound to slowly win this fight no matter what. It almost doesn't matter if they succeed on the ground at all, because if they don't take out the carry position, they're just going to lose. Now on to our next map. We'll look at Gibraltar. This one has a lot of the similar components to it, but I think even more so, the team is bound to have a respawn advantage to guarantee a second fight on a retake at the very least. And if you aren't prepared to deal with that, you can easily find yourself making mistakes, and I'm actually going to make a key mistake coming up here soon. It's important to know when it's okay to actually trade your life. And to be honest, as a tank, almost never. Dying to get the Zen there wasn't really enough. We stall out, regroup, but because we're able to launch from the high ground here, as Winston, I'm allowed to go bully their high ground, and now we're going to be able to shoot down on them as they come in on the retake. It would have been nice if we had somebody pushing the cart, at least one person in the back, to get a little bit more progress, but the thing is, and the reason why you don't want to tunnel vision on putting more people on the cart than you need to, is because no matter what, this enemy team's going to get a full respawn like they do straight ahead of us. So that means in order to even get this cart around the bend to the checkpoint, you're talking about almost guaranteed 2 fights. So if you think to yourself, well, I killed 2 or 3, why isn't that enough for us to get the objective? Well, the team needs to get like at least 12 kills to be able to finish the point. So as I go a bit too ambitious to try to go burst down a frag myself, I'm not playing with my team and I end up dying. I had to respect the fact that there's going to be a full regroup and another team fight entirely before we're able to take the point. We'll emphasize the respawn advantage in the next bit of clips, but look at how I control the high ground here to make sure that we're able to get space. We nudge the soldier off of the spot, harass him down. Now he's on the low ground. Ana gonna get ton of value if she's left uncontested up top. We start to pressure her down. Now they both get afraid and go down to the low ground, but this is exactly what I wanted. Now we're able to corral them, fight them in close range, and especially when you're playing these long range characters, soldier, Ana, whatever, you want to try to avoid these close range battles whenever possible. And a lot of this does end up being the tank's responsibility, which is why it becomes really difficult to play characters like Roadhog or Zarya on this map. A big reason why I'm able to just utterly bully this soldier mercy combination by myself is because they're running a Zarya pick, which isn't good on this map at all. You might think to yourself, well, Zarya's a really strong character. I feel like I'm doing a lot on Zarya. Maybe the enemy Zarya is getting a lot of charge and doing a lot of damage onto the cart. But the problem is the cart doesn't matter at all. The only thing the defense has to worry about is keeping their soldier and mercy alive. And if I'm allowed to go bully them without an enemy diva to come blast me in the face, we're able to completely control this hangar stage. Whereas if I fail in my mission to go get the soldier, they'll be able to look down on us and do exactly what I showed you on Numbani with a soldier uncontested. It's a great day for him when that's the case. And this is ultimately why it ends up being the case that Winston and D.Va are so meta, is that they can always go after high ground in this way. And a character like Zarya really is more of a carry hero, a brawler hero, and it isn't going to satisfy your win condition no matter how much you win the battle on the ground. If you lose the battle up top, you lose the whole map. All right, now moving on to Hanamura. This one is going to combine everything that we've discussed thus far, utilizing high ground, countering it as well, but now we have the issue of respawn advantage to worry about. First things first, Zenyatta, do not go to the point. Squishy characters, stop playing the objective. You're just gonna die. Good tank players do not let squishies play the objective. Doing that is a massive feed. You have to make it expensive to kill you, not incredibly easy. Zarya Rein, once again, they're trying to just go to the point. This essentially is the same exact example as Numbani, but because I'm able to flow onto the point, off the point, top to the high ground to go off and kill whatever squishy I want, this attacking team is going to have a horrible day. And most of it comes from the fact that I know I don't have to play the objective. I'm not afraid of them taking a tick at any point. The win condition is actually the way the map's structured, which is if they have squishies that are controlling the high ground in any way, that's how we actually lose the map. We don't lose the map by them being on point because we easily can stall and overwhelm them. Really, what this attacking team needs to do is figure out what they're actually playing their comp for. They think they're playing Zarya Winston so they can go to point and fight there, but that's not useful at all. You need to be playing your comp in order to get kills. Winning team fights wins objectives. In the Overwatch League, you might see cases where a flanker or perhaps a Winston pressures an objective a little bit to try to bait a response, but you need to use the objective as a means to an end to get kills. This is why when we see this map in particular get played in the Overwatch League, it actually plays out really, really boring, where both teams are putting all their resources into fighting over a hallway, because that's actually the win condition of this map. If the attacking team over pursues and commits to the objective, they will simply just get danced around and not get the objective at the same time. This is why when you're on the attacking side, what your objective has to be is maintain the high ground, don't die, win the team fight convincingly, and control it for horde mode after the fact. What's horde mode, you say? Well, in any of these instances where you're playing a 2CP map, especially, you want to create scenarios where they're trying to retake and they have no choice but to go to the objective. And you do that not by sending your whole team there at the start of the fight, but by wiping them, making them respawn, then controlling the high ground so that they're retaking into that angle. And once you're able to set up this scenario, then you're able to take the point. Going back to Numbani again on attack to show an example of how this would work on either Hanamura or Numbani. A bit easier on Numbani because they don't have a massive respawn advantage, but look to see how we set up the high ground and we're starting to frag out. We actually look like we're in a really good spot right now, fending off targets, getting some kills, but my team goes to go cap a tick on the point, which is okay, but not great because they abandoned me and they're worried about only focusing on the objective. It's going to guarantee that we lose this fight where we could have easily won it. You maybe can play that way if your DPS is a tracer who can fight in and out on the point constantly, but to win with a soldier, you have to prop that soldier up, and that range damage will give you the win. Coming back, I realized that my team isn't really focused on protecting me at all, so I take matters into my own hands, try to play a bit more crafty with my positioning, go a little bit deep onto their side, and because I'm able to keep myself alive, the damage just keeps coming through from the soldier, and that's going to be the difference maker. Well, that's going to be everything for today's video. Please let us know if there's other maps, modes, engagement styles, whatever, that you're struggling with in the comment section down below, and we'll try our best to cover it so that we all can get better at Overwatch together. If you enjoyed the video and you did find it useful, please leave it a like. It really does help us out and lets us know that you're enjoying the content. And if you haven't already, please subscribe because we upload each and every day, so you're going to want to hit the bell icon so that you get notified when our videos go live. Link to the description is our Twitter, where we tweet out news, updates, and dank memes. That's been it for me. I've been FREEDO for Your Overwatch. I'll see you guys next time.